We've landed in quite the odd situation, haven't we? We go through our days treating everything with such intense gravity as though this whole existence is a massive test where a single mistake might condemn us forever. Yet imagine if I revealed that this whole spectacle, this epic saga of being alive, is really just an intricate plaything. And like any good game, once you grasp the mechanics, you can master it with impressive finesse, and even, dare I suggest, a spark of delight. Pause and consider that. As a kid, games filled your world. Pretend shootouts as cowboys and natives, mock family life, imaginary gatherings with tiny cups. You'd dive headfirst into those scenarios with utter belief. You embodied the gunslinger completely. You were fully the parent whipping up fantastical feasts, yet deep down, you always knew it was make-believe. The instant your parent summoned you for supper, you'd shed the persona effortlessly, no lingering attachment to the outlaw, no turmoil over who you were once playtime wrapped up. But at some point, we lost that playful instinct. We turned into what I'd term immersive performers on life's stage. We immersed ourselves so deeply in our parts that we overlooked the performance altogether. We began convincing ourselves that we truly embody the executive, the homemaker, the triumph, the flop. And when you lose sight of the act, the diversion morphs into confinement. When I claim life resembles a game, I don't imply it's insignificant or pointless. Games hold profound value. You engage with fervor, with zeal, pouring your all into it, yet you hold on to that effortless poise. The opening principle of this universal diversion might shock you most. You're not the identity you believe yourself to be. That individual tied to your label, your unique backstory, your distinct anxieties and aspirations, that's merely your avatar in the setup. It's a facade, a part you're portraying so authentically that you've deceived your own senses. But who constitutes the authentic self? Well, that's the captivating part. The true essence of you is the observer, not the figure. You're the consciousness that witnesses ideas, emotions, perceptions. You're the expanse where every encounter emerges and fades. You're, in essence, the platform hosting the full theatrical display. When you truly perceive this, grasp it fully, the dynamics shift entirely. You recognize you've resembled a performer so engrossed in the script that he overlooked removing the attire and heading back to reality. Abruptly, it hits you. You're not confined to the figure. You can enact it adeptly, savor it immensely, without letting it ensnare you. Here's a further guideline that escapes nearly every participant. The diversion lacks an absolute triumph state. No crowning reward, no endpoint to claim success and bow out. The essence lies in the engagement itself. Society has conditioned us to view existence as a trek toward some goal, but it's far closer to melody or rhythm. You don't sway to arrive at a fixed position. You don't absorb an orchestra to reach the closing chord. The significance resides in the motion, the rhythm, the immersion. Yet we've transformed it into a sprint. We dash past youth to attain maturity. We speed through education to launch professions. We toil relentlessly toward leisure years. And then we lounge in our seats, pondering what vanished. We fixated so on arriving elsewhere that we overlooked the sole location we occupied, the present. Right here, this instant. That's where the diversion unfolds perpetually. Not in tomorrow's promised bliss. Not in yesterday's rosier times, but precisely now. This is the exclusive moment of active participation. Still, so many of us resemble concert-goers who pore over the schedule throughout, dissecting future acts, ignoring the tune resounding in the air. One more intriguing feature of this diversion. It's utterly tilted to your advantage. In what manner? Regardless of occurrences, regardless of the part you inhabit, True defeat eludes you since you're beyond the figure. You're the whole apparatus. Picture it like this. In slumber, a beast might pursue you, evoking sheer dread. Upon awakening, you understand you were simultaneously the pursued and the pursuer. You crafted the full vision. Similarly, you're not merely a single contender in the vast diversion. You're the diversion manifesting. This could seem like esoteric babble, but reflect on that. Each individual who frustrates you, each circumstance that tests you, they're woven into your reality. They manifest within your perception. In a tangible way, the cosmos you perceive unfolds within your mind. You're not a tiny, isolated entity battling a cruel realm. You're the realm gazing upon itself via the lens you label as yourself. Once you catch this punchline, and it is the grandest universal jest, your entire outlook on existence transforms. You cease interpreting matters so intimately. When folks come at you with criticism rather than putting up your defenses, try shifting your mindset. Quote, in tough spots, instead of wondering why this is befalling you, flip it to, why are you showing up in this scenario? After all, if you're the whole show, you're not some casualty of fate. You're the very fabric of those events, shaping up as hurdles to spice up the adventure. Let me touch on a key point here. This perspective doesn't call for apathy or stepping back. Quite the opposite. Once you grasp that it's all a playful endeavor, you dive in with real expertise and zeal. You invest heart in your choices without crumbling if they fall short. You embrace affection wholly, yet bounce back if it's not reciprocated. You pour energy into your pursuits without shattering when results don't come swiftly. The key lies in what I term a gentle approach to the play, like a masterful jazz artist. You get the song's core framework, yet you're primed for on-the-spot riffs. You tune into your fellow players' cues. You avoid shoving the tune into a rigid mold. Instead, you ride its waves, engage with it, groove along. Too many folks tackle existence as if conducting a symphony under a tyrannical leader. Each measure has to match the score precisely. Zero tolerance for impulse, no arena for invention. Yet reality vibes more like jazz. The underlying beat holds steady, but inside it, endless chances unfold for ad-libbing and fun. One of the freest rules in this setup? Consistency isn't required. You're free from the burden of mirroring who you were moments earlier. That persona you've worn, complete with its flaws and hang-ups, isn't etched in stone. It's akin to an outfit you can swap out. We burn so much fuel guarding our ego, shielding our standing, upholding our traits. Imagine if you could morph into whatever version suits the instant. Rather than chained by history, you could refresh your essence ongoing, not in a wild, erratic fashion, but in a smooth, inventive flow that lets you meet every moment anew. Kids pull this off effortlessly. In a flash, they're royalty. Next, a fierce beast, then zooming as a speedster. Consistency? Not on their radar. They don't pause to fret. Hold on, last day I was nobility, so no beasts for me now. And the magic here, every soul you cross paths with is essentially you in another guise, acting out a fresh part. That irksome co-worker, the challenging family member, the passerby who flashed a grin, they're all facets of you, testing out varied personas in the grand stage production. Spotting this sparks genuine empathy, not the patronizing sort that pities from above, but the insight that we're unified in this, all cast in the universal playhouse. Sure, on the surface, folks differ wildly, distinct traits, histories, styles of embodying their characters, but deep down, the consciousness peering through their gaze is identical to yours. Think of us as panes in one vast dwelling, each offering unique vistas, yet tied to the same framework. Now, onto a slippery element of the play, the one that trips up most. Handling hardship. How do you navigate adeptly when things twist unfavorably? When fate hands you a seeming dud, start by grasping this. Agony isn't identical to hurt. Hurt is innate, unavoidable. Bang your foot, it stings. Lose a dear one, sorrow hits. These are core to being human, elements that enrich and round out the experience. Agony, though, that's another beast. It's the tale we spin around the hurt, the pushback against reality, the insistence that things ought to differ. Hurt declares, this aches. Agony protests, this ought not to occur. It's unjust. It spells doom for me or what's ahead. Grasping that gap empowers you to endure hurt sans the added torment of agony. You can sense melancholy without the insistence on joy. Confront obstacles without framing yourself as prey. Meet defeats without the saga that everything's wrecked. Picture it as climate patterns, rain falls at times, sun gleams others. The heavens neither fight the downpour nor grip the glow. It just lets conditions unfold. Treat your inner climate likewise. Joy might surge one moment, gloom the next, bafflement after, clarity beyond. None linger forever. They're merely shifts in the ever-evolving skies. Awareness is key. Let me share another principle that can spare you a ton of mental fatigue. You don't need to form a view on every single thing. No need to label every moment as positive or negative, correct or incorrect. Occasionally, you can just remark on how intriguing it is and call it a day. Society has conditioned us to perpetually assess, to ceaselessly determine if we approve or reject what's unfolding. Yet this non-stop evaluation drains us completely. It's akin to a reviewer who misses the thrill of a film because they're fixated on dissecting each frame. At times, you can merely observe, immerse yourself, exist in the now without demanding a stance on everything. The expert participant treats their viewpoints with a loose grip. They may harbor likes and dislikes, but they don't grip them tightly. They savor their go-to meal without frustration if it's unavailable. The instant you believe you've cracked the code, existence will toss in an unforeseen twist. The second you settle into your current position, events will nudge you toward a new one. Rather than pushing back against these shifts, embrace them openly. They add spice to the journey. Picture a chess match where your opponent repeats the exact same strategies every time, or a film where every plot point is utterly predictable. Wouldn't that grow dull quickly? The unexpected developments, the sudden reversals, the surprising directions, these elements transform existence into an exciting quest instead of a monotonous grind. Once you release the urge to micromanage every aspect, once you cultivate an appreciation for the unforeseen, you'll discover the world perpetually captivating rather than perpetually aggravating. One of the most freeing realizations in this endeavor is that errors don't truly exist, only lessons. Those setbacks you label as flops are merely trials that didn't pan out as hoped. The triumphs you celebrate are trials that surpassed your hopes. Yet all of them serve as mere markers in the vast exploration of humanity. A toddler mastering steps doesn't deem a tumble a defeat. We expect flawless execution from the outset. We view slip-ups as proof of shortcoming instead of inherent steps in growth. We convert every trip into proof of our flaws. Imagine viewing your entire existence with that young one's mindset toward stepping forward. Suppose each blunder offered pure insight. Each flop provided simple guidance. How unburdened would you feel without hauling that weight of self-criticism over your flawed efforts? Here's a twist about this pursuit that might catch you off guard. The top performers often seem the least engaged. They navigate existence with graceful simplicity, not from indifference, but from aligning with the inherent rhythm instead of battling it. It's comparable to battling the current versus drifting along with it. Each demands expertise, yet one depletes you while the other revitalizes. Grasping life's undercurrents, discerning the rhythms of reality, allows you to achieve far more with far less strain. This isn't about slacking or surrendering. It's about savvy choices, knowing when to intervene and when to pause, when to press forward and when to adapt. It involves honing what the Chinese term wu wei, frequently rendered as non-interference, but truly signifying action attuned precisely to the circumstances. Think of water navigating boulders in a river. It doesn't clash against the obstacle. It glides past, and over time erodes it subtly. Such is the strength of the soft method, the subtle influence. The adept navigator recognizes that brute strength seldom resolves life's hurdles. A vital skill in excelling at this is juggling various personas at once without muddling their boundaries, and you catch the essence of mastery from echoes in the Psalms or the verses of Rumi. Every persona demands its distinct demands, attire, essence. The adept navigator shifts seamlessly among them without drifting from their core. They can be firm in deal-making and gentle with their kids. They might learn in one setting and guide in the next. They avoid trapping themselves in a lone self-image. Many err by striving to remain identical across all scenarios. They believe genuineness requires rigidity, no flexibility. True genuineness, however, lies in suiting the instant, the bond, the setting. It's like a talented performer embodying diverse characters persuasively, rooted in the profound unity binding every part. Allow me to reveal one of the deepest insights into this pursuit. The guidelines aren't set in stone. They evolve, and frequently do, so depending on your approach. Herein lies the true enchantment. Typical games enforce strict protocols for all, but existence plays more like a joint creation. Life unfolds like an improvisational adventure, where the guidelines shift based on your moves. The decisions you make, the mindset you adopt, and the essence you embody genuinely shape the path your journey takes. When you face the world gripped by anxiety and distrust, circumstances often arise that reinforce those worries. But if you embrace it with wonder and receptivity, doors open to exciting prospects and discoveries. Step into the part of the sufferer, and you'll attract folks eager to act as antagonists. Embrace the hero's mantle, and you'll uncover your inner strength for bravery and innovation. This goes beyond mere optimism or daydreaming. It's an acknowledgement that your mind isn't merely a bystander. Far from just witnessing existence, it actively contributes to shaping it. Your focus, your selections, these are vital elements crafting the narrative of your life. One of the game's most enchanting features is that victory is possible for all, though not in the conventional sense of triumph. Typically, success means another's failure. Yet, in this grand universal drama, your achievements don't demand anyone else's downfall. Quite the opposite. The more adeptly you engage, the more you empower others to excel as well. True contentment in you doesn't breed misery around you. It sparks others to seek their own fulfillment. Authentic calm within doesn't spark disputes. It guides people toward their inner serenity. Being unapologetically, you doesn't undermine those nearby. It invites them to embrace their true selves. That's precisely why enlightened experts, the masterful participants, appear to navigate a wholly distinct realm from the rest. They're not vying for dominance. They're not seeking validation. They're not tallying points. They immerse themselves solely in the delight of the experience. And mysteriously, those in their orbit begin to elevate their own play. Allow me to reveal one ultimate principle, likely the most crucial. The adventure persists indefinitely. What we term passing away is merely swapping outfits, shifting characters, altering the backdrop. The true essence, you, the observant essence overseeing this entire spectacle, endures unbroken. Grasping this truth transforms your perspective entirely. You cease desperately holding on to your present persona. You shed the dread of transition. You come to see that you're not merely a participant within the play. You are the play manifesting, delving into boundless potentials via myriad personas and tales. Thus, we've reached the close of this shared inquiry. Naturally, there's no true conclusion, just as there was no absolute start. Only this timeless present persists, this perpetual drama, this wondrous expression of awareness unveiling itself across every conceivable shape and encounter. Should you catch yourself treating existence with excessive gravity next time, recall these insights. You're not a lone fighter battling for endurance in a cruel cosmos. You embody the cosmos itself, experimenting with individuality to probe the sensations of seeming hardship, seeming victory, seeming setback, seeming conquest. It's all mere enactment. It's all rhythmic movement. It's all harmonious melody. And you serve as both the creator and the performer, the singer and the dancer, encircling the essence. Engage with finesse, with exuberance. Engage with that gentle ease born from realizing it's one extraordinary universal spectacle. And keep in mind, within this spectacle, all can claim victory, since all are you, and you are all. We're simply the singular awareness pretending multiplicity. The spectacle endures forever. It merely transforms, and oh, what an enchanting spectacle it is!